Fun. We're going to start with Steve. When was your first DJ experience here? And give me just a brief experience of it. Like what did you leave with the first time you came here? DJ.
It was 1980. It was in Cherry Grove at the Ice Palace. And from the Ice Palace, I moved on to the Monster. And from there, it was the Pines, and here I am.
Just a quick question for Steve. What made you move from the Grove to the Pines?
Well, Mark, my ex-partner, and I took a walk over on a September evening in 1991, and we saw the cruise quarters was for sale. So that was my dream, to own my own club. We brought the cruise quarters from Doris Toxic, took over 2.5 spaces next to it, and created the Island Club. There was a need for another club here. It was just a pavilion, and it was old and tired, and we brought a brand new space to the Boys in the Pines, and the rest is history.
Yeah, it is, and we have that history on our website, pineshistory.org, the clubs, the people, the music, all of this is part of our history. So Max, let's hear from you.
Alright, my first experience DJing, I was in 1989, right here where it all started. Loki started in '66, right?
Yes.
And it was incredible. It still is to me.
It is, and I love the idea, and I love seeing my guys come back, as you know, but I also love my new guys, so let's pass it to Vito.
Hey guys. Oh, first year. First year. Okay, sorry.
Your experience
I didn't know that about Steven. That was interesting. Thank you, Steven.
See?
My first year was 2006. One of the old owners had his assistant was Sean Patrick Ryan, and he used to come to like the Limelight when I used to DJ there, and he was like, the pavilion is like, I'm not really in love with it. Can you come and do this party? We would open during tea time. We had such an excess of people. And I was like, sure. And I'd only been to Fire Island once. And I remember I got here and I opened the drawer in the hotel. And there was a poster of Peppermint. And I was like, oh, Peppermint. That's like a face I know. And I felt like I was at home already because I used to work with Peppermint at the Tunnel. And then we opened the pavilion at 8 o'clock. It was July in 2006. And it was like a super success. It went over really well. And some of the older generation was mad at me, but I think we learned to coexist after a while. Yeah, that was that.
Awesome.
Was that middle T? Is that what they call middle T? Is that how it started?
That was, he originally, I think this summer called it the Party at Pavilion.
Yes.
And then, I think a couple years later, a year or two later, they rebranded it Middle T, and then when PJ took over, he wanted to wipe some of the branding slate clear, so he named it Fun Tea because I was a resident, and I'm not going to complain about that.
Not. Okay, Kevin.
So my first time out here visiting was actually in 1997, and I remember Michael Fearman playing the old Pavilion and had an incredible night. It was the first time I'd heard disco on that kind of sound system, like the whole night. And Victor Calderon was playing the Independence Party at Reflections. But my first time DJing was a year after Vito came, 1997. Sean Patrick Ryan got together a whole slate of DJs, myself, Keo Nazari, Corey Craig, Javier. That was like the main crew, I think. And it was really funny because he gave us a list of the music that needed to be played at every venue, which all of us were kind of upset about at first, but then I kind of understood he wanted to respect the tradition of low T. So he wanted it to be disco, he wanted it to be, kind of sing-along and happy and that vibe. And then that was when we first did the new version of High Tea at the second pavilion, which became a really fun party actually in that space up there. And we kind of branded it as a new thing with a little bit more clubby. But that was my first experience DJing here was actually at the High Tea.
Awesome. Mr. Leslie.
Well, I started working here in '75, but I was a waiter, and then after hours I would be a cocktail waiter. And I was technically underage, so I had to kind of not really, when I did cocktails, it was kind of on the QT, but I worked with, well, first Tom Moulton, was playing the tapes, or he had submitted the tapes that we had the first year. So I was hearing this amazing, fantastic music. I mean, it was stuff I had never heard or even heard of. And then the following years I did Tom Savarese and Howard Merritt, Richard Rivera, and all these fantastic DJs. So that was kind of like this catalyst that got me fascinated with the art form itself. And so I started doing it, I started buying records, I started pretending that I was a DJ in the club at the Sandpiper during the day when nobody was there, because I lived right upstairs. So I would come down and goof around in the booth and sort of learn. I taught myself the rudimentary style of DJing, and I would try to copy all these big stars as far as their sequence and how they would do it and everything. And in '77, after Labor Day, I played my first set, and that was like an instantaneous thing. It just immediately clicked for me, and I've done it ever since.
I just want to make a side note on that. The music that he was talking about on the tapes was soul music. That was really the beginning of how the dance music started out here. R&B. This place, for people who weren't around, had a jukebox, and that is what people did. They put the money in, and this is how dancing started. This is how it was created here. Line dances, all those things. Great, incredible history that we are standing on right now, Mr. Warren Gluck.
Okay, I came out here in 1973, fell in love with the place, Cherry Grove at first. And that was at the time I wanted to be a DJ in the worst way, and I was buying records and teaching myself how to do it like Bobby. And I started DJing on Long Island in 1975 and realized that I really wanted to come out here and work. And the first time I worked out here was for Halloween 1978 at the Monster. A friend of mine was the DJ there, and he decided he couldn't work for some reason. He called his boss, Joe Shallow, and gave him my number, and they called me out of the blue. And so I said, sure, I'll do it. And played at the Monster, and they loved me, and that became my door into the Monster. And I went down to play at the Monster in Key West that winter, and my 1 week turned into 2 because they liked me, and then they asked me to open up out here on Fire Island in '79. So that was my first time working a whole season out here in '79, and I continued with the Monster in 3 locations for 30 years, but Fire Island is always my home. Really.
Awesome. We'll get that there. I'm going to bring in my super DJ here, who flies from here to the city back and forth like a little dove. Love him to death. He just did the barbecue here, Mike Borowski. So Mike, I'm going to give you, we just started. So what year was the first year you got here as a person? And then what year was the first year you began as a DJ? And a little bit of that experience.
Okay, I first day tripped to Cherry Grove in '93. And then DJing was it was only 4 years ago. So very recent. Baby DJ. I don't look at it, my age is not connected, but it's very recent.